Hello and welcome. If you are new, my name is Veronica. If not, welcome back. And today we're really going to be talking about letting go of attachment. I know that's something that I've been working on, but it didn't really hit me until recently. I kept putting myself in situations, in a certain situation that wasn't making me feel good, that wasn't serving me, wasn't aligning with me. And I was like, how come I keep putting myself in this situation? And I couldn't really, part of my ego was like trying to blame them or blame others, blame the situation. But really, once I took accountability of my own feelings, I was able to then see the message. And that's that I've been holding on to attachments for quite some time. And so this is something I'm currently working on. And really what it is, it's the meaning you're giving, the story you're telling yourself, the meaning you've given that relationship or that person or that friendship or that career or that situation or whatever. It's what you're giving, what meaning that is, because attachment, letting go isn't challenging. It's just when we are attached to it, when we don't want to let go, that creates pain. Because it's like holding a pencil in your hand. If you don't want to let it go, you don't want to let it go, but it's being pulled or is not meant for you or whatever it is, it's causing you pain. Like all you have to do is really open your hand and just surrender and trust. I did a whole other video on letting go of control and surrendering and trusting in the universe, which kind of goes hand in hand. But becoming aware of the story, becoming aware of the meaning, asking yourself how I can show up, how can I show up for myself, and also acknowledging that that is ego-based. That's stemming from fear, that's stemming from ego, because it's trying to keep you in the familiarity, what you're used to, and this can be in your subconscious, which you're not aware of. But once you become aware of it, that's great. That means that you're ready to let go of it. That means you know that's no longer serving you. And you may have to grieve a little bit, because you may be grieving the story. If you're grieving, let's say you have an attachment to a certain style, just make it simple, a certain style that you wear. People come to you because you know how to dress a certain way, or whatever. If you formed a whole ego around this, maybe, or maybe dressing like that gives you the validation that you're seeking for subconsciously, which is, maybe from childhood, whatever. But you become attached to the story and the meaning you give it, which is trying to give you some type of validation, or is trying to remain in the same somehow. And so once you become aware of this, what you can do is kind of start letting go, start showing up for yourself, maybe doing mantras, meditating, having compassion for yourself, forgiveness for yourself, and allowing yourself to really like I always say, allow those feelings to flow through, honoring and validating that, but also the story you're telling yourself. Once you know what it is, you can then be like, okay, that is not who I am. Like it aligned with me maybe in etc. day or whatever, but it no longer serving me, and that is perfect, that is great. I know that it's my ego trying to remain the same. And I know for myself, I'm gonna tell you a story, what really I think triggered this is because I realized that I would put myself in situations where I would talk to people, and I didn't really like them. I didn't really feel. There was always an and, but, an if, but I still would entertain certain people. I would still talk to certain people or date them or whatever, even though deep down I knew that it wasn't for me. But it was because of the story I was telling myself. It was because of the attachment I had to the meaning I was giving it, the attachment I had to the situation, the idea. It wasn't really the thing. It wasn't like I was attached to that person or that thing or the situation. It was just the idea, the meaning. But once you become aware of that, once you become aware that it's just the meaning, it's just literally the meaning, like the mindset, is your mindset. Once you become aware of that, and it's just your ego trying to protect you, yes, you may grieve a little bit, and that is okay. Honor, make space for grief, but also you will be able to start showing up for yourself and just make a choice. Make a choice to let go. Make a choice to start showing up for yourself. It's just really making a choice and saying, okay, I may grieve a little bit, but really you're even grieving, and you can prolong the grief if you are still holding on to that attachment, to that meaning. So become aware of that meaning. Become aware of what story you're telling yourself. And once you can become aware of the story you're telling yourself, you can start choosing new. You can start choosing yourself over that meaning, because it's just a meaning you're giving it. It doesn't really exist in a way. And so, other than that, I hope it helped. It's something that I'm working through. This something that helps me get through this in a way, and that has helped me really let go of attachment of literally situations, friendships, and relationships, which it's actually interesting that once you make the choice, once you really make the choice and you accept the core of who you are is no one can give you something that you already are. No one can bring you happiness if you are happiness. No one can give you love, bliss, abundance if that's who you are at your core. And if that's not what's being manifested out, it's because you're holding on to something. You're attached to something. You must let something go. And once you're able to let go, you will be able to you will open yourself up to receive what is at your core aligned with you. And attachment, once you become aware that you might be attached to something, become aware of the meaning and just accept that it's just your ego, it's just a story, and make the choice to let go and make the choice to come back to your inner world, to inner healing, and to show up for yourself and know that it's just all a story. The attachment is really just a story. So other than that, hope it helped, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.